everyone, it's Victoria here. I hope all is well with you. So this time I'm going to be giving you a nice little brief overview of what etiquette is and points of etiquette for game shooting, and hopefully help you sidestep any possible faux pas in the field. Helpful. So etiquette, what is it? It's a set of unwritten rules that are kind of part of the fabric of game shooting. Points of etiquette vary kind of really hugely, but it's generally kind of a set of rules on how to behave. The bare bones of it is just respect for safety, for what you're shooting, for your fellow guns, and obviously masses of respect for the shoot staff and for the kind of heritage. So this time I'm going to walk you through a shoot day with my kind of like top points, kind of like standalone points, which I think are really, really good for you to know. A lot of it's just common sense, so you don't need to feel overwhelmed. But yeah, I'm just going to take it from the top and kind of, walk you through a few points. I'm not going to bombard you. So always be on time. If you're early, you might disrupt final preparations from your host. And of course, just being late is just no good ever. Keep phone calls and social media kind of notifications to an absolute minimum. Ideally have your phone off, or if you can't bear to have it off, have it on silent. Act kind of like modestly and humble all day, and this will stand you in really, really good stead. No one likes to show off, and there's no place for it really in the shooting field. Being polite is the form for the day with a game day, and just be wonderful to everyone that you come into contact with. I'm sure you are already, but be as punctual as you can. If you're booting up in the morning, or say if you need to go to the loo before you head off to the drive, just make sure you kind of do it in good time so the team aren't waiting for you. They'll be thankful for it. So when you're on your peg, obviously say hello and thank you to the beaters and picker-ups and anyone else that's around when you're kind of walking to and from your peg. Running out of ammunition is quite bad etiquette, so do ensure that you have enough with you for each drive. Don't attempt to shoot a bird which is very low. This is not sporting, it's not safe, and it's very bad etiquette. And if you shoot a bird that's too low, chances are it's going to be pillowcased and not fit for the table, and that's not cool. Similarly, don't try and shoot a bird that's too high. Chances are you'll miss it, or worse, you'll kind of injure it. Again, it's just not cool to take pot shots at really high birds. Don't pinch your neighbour's birds, even if they've given you a bit of a wink and a nudge and said you can. In that scenario, you can, but generally don't shoot your neighbour's birds. Don't move on to another bird until you're confident that one's down, and make a mental note of where it's landed and mark your birds. Always carry always carry shot game by the neck. Holding game by the feet is just a no-no. Compliment other guns if you see them taking a particularly nice bird. It's really good for, it's just nice when you get a compliment, isn't it? But no need to be fake. If you're told to leave your spent shells on your peg, do just kind of kick them into a little pile, and it'll really help the person that's picking them up. Pick up any birds which are close to you and take them back to the game cart. This will allow the pickers up to focus on birds which are a bit further out. You have to tip the gamekeeper. It's just awful if you don't, and I've never known it happen, but I tip, well, general rule of thumb is £20 per 100 birds, so if I've been on a 200 bird day, then I'll tip kind of like 60, or if I've had a really good day, maybe even 70, so tipping a bit extra because it's been great. Really, like, integral part of etiquette is to take a brace, if not several braces of birds home with you if you can. I just take as many as I can. If they won't fit in my freezer, then they'll go to my neighbour or anyone else that I can give them to. But the main thing is with etiquette is just to be safe. Obviously, it goes without saying. Be gracious, be humble, and just be really considerate. And I think if you act like that all day, obviously, you need to have fun and enjoy it, and you don't need to be like worrying about it all day long. But yeah, as long as you're kind of like humble and gracious, I think you've pretty much got it cracked. And if you aren't sure, just follow other people's leads, and it's fine to speak to other people about if there's things that you aren't sure about. But the main thing is you're safe, you're humble, and you enjoy it. And if you're out in the field for the first time soon, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Don't overthink it, be safe.